Scorer goes to the net, right down the slot. It's Vince Dunn, and he scores. Going back to last season, Pasternak. Now it's 61 goals in his last 83 games as his one-timer finds the back of the net. Through center and on the go. Ovechkin has it in neutral towards the empty cage. He scores again. Alex Ovechkin one closer to 800. Lose the draw. Now it's a 3-on-2 for the Stars. Liddell carries up across ice. Glenn and they score! Glendening went to the net, redirects it. A short-handed goal makes it 4-1 Dallas. That will not make the coach happy.
What the puck is going on?
Okay, this is what the puck is going on for March the 14th, 2023, a Tuesday night, and we have a full slate. Yeah, if it looks like I got punched in the eye, I didn't get punched in the eye. This is just allergy season, and it is a mess. So if you look like we have the droopy eye there, then you're just going to have to deal with it. I think this is Nephew Dave on the line, I believe, calling from sunny Florida to rub it in that we're sitting up here in the cold and in the wind. What's up, Dave? How are you doing, man?
What's going on, Steve? We are doing well.
All right, good. I'm glad to hear it. Glad things are better there than here. All right, so we went through the standings last night, only the trio of games that we talked about, and if you went ahead and took all the overs, then you cashed on 3-0 on the overs last night. So a good night for the show here and the picks. Okay, let's get right to the card. I guess last night, let's see what happened in the standings as a result of last night. Colorado had slipped into the wild card spot. They're actually back now in third in the Central, so they climbed out of the wild card spot. They knocked Edmonton back in there, and they actually have 2 games in hand. So Colorado has 2 extra games to play. Besides that, I don't think we have too much bearing. Yeah, the Stars now increase their lead in the Central, lead that they have yet to give up. And Buffalo, they're going to help themselves out in the playoff standings as well in the East with their win at Toronto. Big win for Buffalo. That gets them up to 71 points and a click closer to the Islanders, who have flip-flopped with the Penguins. We talked about that yesterday. But Buffalo is still 5 points back of the wild card, starting to get a little bit of separation there with the teams, the pack of teams chasing the standings in the playoff. All right, let's go ahead. We got a full slate. Let's get right to it. I got the injury report loaded as well. Shouldn't have too much to say different from what we had last night with the limited amount of games that we had on the slate. Yeah, doesn't look like anything really changed as far as new injuries go. One note we'll make sure we know of is Alex Ovechkin is now day-to-day with a lower body injury. All right, so that's one to note there. All right, Dave, let's get to the games. You got some picks ready to fly for these?
Yeah, I think so for the most part. Been looking at them, trying to see what we can do here. A couple interesting ones, couple not so interesting. So we'll see what we can find.
Man, I got this allergy thing in my eye. I guess that's what it is. Maybe I need to go get it checked out, but I look like the Terminator right now if you look at it on TV. Okay. So, yeah, great life. All right, Devils minus 145 at home against the Lightning plus 120. Devils have been on fire. We talked about them having a great weekend. They won 3 in a row, 7-2-1 in their last 10. Lightning struggling a bit now, 3-5-2, and they can't go on too bad of a streak, or they're going to find themselves in an interesting position here. If they continue to lose, someone's bound to catch up in that pack of teams. So this is going to be a big game for the Lightning tonight. Devils have been hot at home. Dave, I'll start with you. What do you got for this?
Yeah, Steve. So this is going to be a tough one. I go automatically here to the 60-minute line. If you like Tampa in this game, you're going to get a plus 175 price. But I'll tell you the way that I would probably go here with the Lightning struggles the way they've been the last couple games. They're not really playing, the way you would like them to be right now. So I think I trust a little bit more what New Jersey is doing. And Steve, we're getting a plus 115 here for New Jersey on the 60-minute line. Now, this could be a game that you see some OT in, but like I said, I trust a little bit more what the Devils are doing than what the Lightning are doing. And if I really just, want to make it short and sweet, I go New Jersey on the 60-minute line while we're getting plus money out of it.
All right, interesting take there.
With those team goals as well, this could be, between these two teams. We know the Lightning are capable of scoring, and they would have to help out a bit to get to an over. But I think an over is something you could absolutely consider here as well. At 6.5 is the over under, and it's minus 110 both ways. So that kind of tells you, what the book is thinking, what the consensus is going to be on this one. But I think it's got the potential for an over as well, Steve.
Vitek Vanacek is the only goalie listed right now for the Devils. The Lightning, they seem to not list their goalies until late, whether it's Vasilevsky or not. Many times lately, I feel like the Lightning goalies have been off the board every time that we look. If we look at the team total goals here, New Jersey's on the roll. Why wouldn't you take them, I guess, especially if Tampa Bay is struggling. Let's see. Tampa Bay total goals is 2.5 minus 166. New Jersey total goals a flat plus 100 over 3.5. So that's not too bad as far as a juice price goes for the Devils. Let's see here. Anything else I need to add? Let me look at the injury report. Tampa, for the most part, has been one of the healthier teams of the season. They haven't had too big of an ordeal with injuries, but let's go ahead and catch up on that, make sure that's still true to form. New Jersey still has the same guys, Jonathan Bernier, Mackenzie Blackwood, Nathan Bastian. All those players should be back soon, though. So the Devils getting healthier sooner than later. Tampa Bay, just Anthony's Cirelli and Pierre Edouard Bellemire as well. So both teams are relatively healthy. I think I like that angle of an over in this game. I think I'll give it a pass. I have not given much thought into today's game. But if I was going to dive on this, I would hit the Devils, I reckon. Let's see what we have next. Okay, the Golden Knights are at the Flyers. We threw the Flyers in the penalty box last night. Vegas has been on the roll. Vegas is laying 190. The comeback on the Flyers is plus 155. Over under is 6.5. The 60-minute line on the three-way has the Golden Knights in minus 125. So that's a nice price for sure. If you like total goals, over 3.5 is minus 106 for the Knights. Another good low juice number for goals. And the Flyers are over 2.5 at minus 118. Goalies listed for this game are Jonathan Quick for the Knights, who had a shutout the other night, actually, and Felix Sandstrom for the Flyers. On the injury report, Philadelphia, they're one of the more banged up teams. Carter Hart is out, actually, because he is sick. They're still missing Travis Konechny. They'll get some players back, but Philadelphia is healthy. They'll get some players back this week. Vegas, on the other hand, has been, again, one of the more banged up teams, and they'll continue to be so. They have 9 players on the injured list right now. 2 of those long-term. They'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players back potentially this week, or at least we'll have their injury situation updated. Vegas has been on a roll. That's a cheap price on the 60-minute money line. The injuries I don't like, but that hasn't really stopped them yet at all. That probably speaks efforts for their farm system as well. Go ahead, Dave. What do you like?
Yeah, Steve. So I'm getting that at minus 115 on a 60-minute line for Vegas. I think you could probably cue that up. That's not a terrible price. You would think it would be a little bit worse. So not the worst price it could be on the 60-minute line. But if we're going to look for a little bit of plus money, I have Vegas at minus 1.5 on the puck line at plus 135. And I think you could move that up to probably 2.5 to even really squeeze it a little bit more. This is a game where even though they are on the road, they're the far better team than the Flyers. We all know that. So if we just trust Vegas, even though they are banged up, but they're still rolling, they're still finding a way to make it happen. So I think this is kind of similar to what we said with New Jersey. I think you definitely can pull the trigger on a 60-minute line for the Knights here, or puck line and maybe move that to 2.5 if you're really feeling confident in Vegas. There's certainly a game they could win, 4-1, somewhere in that neighborhood. So I think there's room to move it on the puck line, but if you want to keep it where it is for Vegas to win by 2 or more, plus 135, I'm pleased with that number. I think that's something that I would probably do there, Steve.
Vegas.
So 60-minute line and puck line for Vegas.
Vegas 3 points up above the Kings in the Pacific. They've won now 3 in a row, 7-2-1 in their last 10. And the Flyers, again, losers of 3 in a row, 2-7-1 in their last 10, just 12-15-4 at home. So tough year here for the Flyers. Okay, next game up. Let's see here. Next game on the slate. Here you go. Ovechkin out day to day. Capitals at the Rangers. Rangers minus 185. Come back on the Caps are plus 152. Over under is 6.5. Dave, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so the Ovechkin, we're not really sure. This is kind of the first I'm hearing about the day-to-day injuries. I saw about it this morning. So we'll see what that's about. He's going to be a game-time decision tonight. So hopefully he gets in there. This is, a big game for the Caps. They need to at least come away with a point from this one, or, things are really going to kind of start to get out of grasp here. So they really need to win games to keep in that race. But I think the one thing that I would do here, Steve, is, we know that the Capitals are capable of scoring. Now, they have struggled to do that lately, but they did put out a nice little outburst the other night. So we know that they're capable of that. We know the Rangers are capable. I have the over-under set at 6. I would go ahead and move that to an alt total of 6.5, or possibly even 7. But you're getting a minus 120 price for the over and a plus 100 for the under. So with that information there, we kind of see, what the trend of thought is in this game. So if it's going to be at a 6, I say you move it up to an over 6.5. You probably come away with, plus money on that, if not very close to it. And, I think this could be, if the Capitals can help us out, this could be another over game. So let's move the line there so we don't get that push if we're pairing it with other stuff. If it does happen to land on the 6, you might as well move it up, Steve, and I think that's what I would do here.
Sonny Milano also day-to-day for the Caps. John Carlson still continues to be out. Carl Hagelin done for the year. Connor Brown out until at least May the 1st. And the Caps recalled someone from the AHL today, I saw. I can't remember his name.
Joe Snively.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. And then as far as the Rangers go, Ryan Lindgren's the only one on the injury report there. Rangers sitting in third place, I would say rather comfortably, I guess. 84 points, pretty much out of reach I don't know. I guess I said everyone could catch Tampa still potentially if Tampa were to continue on a free fall on their losing ways. The Rangers not so hot either in their last 10, 4-5-1 with an overtime loss their last time out. So they're not playing really their best hockey, and neither are the Capitals, 4-5-1 their last time out. In fact, ever since the calendar turned, the Caps had that blowout win against Montreal on New Year's Eve. I feel like the season's taken a turn for the worse for them. This is going to be a no play for me, just because of the injuries for the Caps, especially Ovechkin. And honestly, I'm not sure who to trust in this scenario with both of these teams playing the way that they are right now. In goal tonight, Shesterkin is the only one listed for the Rangers. Capitals, no goalie listed. All right, anything else on this game, Dave? I'll take a hard pass.
No. Yeah, it's a tough one. Like I said, the only thing I would do is hope for that 6.5. At least it's something, I guess.
7:00 in Raleigh, the Winnipeg Jets are at the Carolina Hurricanes, and you're getting a really nice price on the Jets if you want to stick with them. Plus 184 is the number on the comeback for them. Minus 225 for Carolina. Over under is 5.5 in the standings. Carolina sits on top of the Metro with 94 points. Actually tied with New Jersey now. New Jersey has called them. So New Jersey with their 7-2-1 record, winners of 3 in a row, and via 2 losses in a row by Carolina, now have tied the Hurricanes for the top of the Metro. The Carolina Hurricanes, though, do have one extra game to play. I don't care, computer. Stop trying to update. Let's see here. As far as the Jets go, I mean, they're sticking around. I mean, they're in a wild card still, 79 points. We talked about the only 2 teams really having a chance to catch the wild card seeds are Nashville and Calgary, but they're 6 points back at this rate. And Nashville is the only team really surging, winners of 2 in a row. But Winnipeg has won 2 in a row themselves, much needed after a dreadful run before that. Winnipeg with 79 points. Still, I guess the division's slipping away with Dallas playing so well. But they are within arm's length of Minnesota and Colorado anyways. More so Colorado with 80 points. But this is a hard game. You're getting a good number on the Jets if you want to take a shot with them. The goalies listed are Frederick Anderson for the Hurricanes and David Riddick for, I think that's how you say his name, for the Jets. I don't know. I mean, I feel like you almost priced in with the Jets on this number, but if you look at a 60-minute line too, 60-minute line on this game, the Jets are plus 280 to win this game in regulation. So that's a nice payout. And I think the main problem with that is, if I recall right, and I'll scroll to it, Carolina, they just don't lose at home. 23-8-2 at home. What do you like, Dave?
Yeah, Steve. So there's really 2 plays that I like. I was taking a look at the team totals, and I wasn't really super impressed. So what I would do is I would go with a game parlay here, Steve. I would take Carolina and over 5.5 at a plus 150 price. I think that's probably achievable. I don't think that's really asking for too much. So again, Carolina, and that's on the money line too. So if this game was to go to overtime and Carolina gets it done, that does not hurt you. And it's getting you plus value anyway. You can pretty much trust Carolina most nights at home, like you said. So if that's going to be the case, I'm going to look for them to, score as well. So Carolina on the money line paired with the over 5.5 at plus 150. Or, Steve, we just go kind of straight up with it, and the Hurricanes on the 60-minute line are minus 135. I don't hate that either. So those will probably be the two takeaways really for me on this one.
All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and pass on this one. This is another tough game. Big slate. Good games on the slate tonight so far. Anyway, minus the Flyers. But this should be a good game with the Jets and our Hurricanes. 7:05 face-off again. Here we go. A ton of 7:05 games, but this is the last one. The Penguins, heavy favorites at home, laying 365 against Montreal, plus 285 for the Canadians. Over-under is 6.5. I feel like Pittsburgh's scoring is up a little bit lately. That could be me just interpreting that wrong, but I feel like they've been playing much better. They are fairly healthy. Nick Bonino continues to be out. Kulikov out. Ryan Poling out. These players should be back sooner than later. Sam Paulin back April 1st. For Montreal, the list is extensive. I mean, it is everyone, you name it. They're on the list, basically. Let's see. 13 players is what it's been. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 players now. So they added someone to it. It looks like Joel Armia, he's been on it. It looks like Christian Dvorak has been added to this list of players. Maybe it was Rem Pitlick. I can't remember. Anyway, Montreal continues to be banged up. I think you take a shot here, at least with the Pittsburgh total goals. Pittsburgh total goals tonight is going to be a big number. Wow, it is. Over 4.5 plus 110. I don't know if I can trust that unless you can get some kind of alternate total goal line, which I think Dave can. Montreal's total goals is over 2.5. Goalies listed are Tristan Jarry and Sam Montembeault. Bowl. That's another great name to say. I don't even know how you say it. Montembeault. Yeah, there we go.
Montembeault.
All right. So, looks like Penguins all day at home, but you got to lay lots of juice to win this game straight up, even in 60 minutes. Same thing. You got to risk minus 240. So I think I'm going to be turned off by everything, at least offered on my menu. Maybe you see something, Dave. What do you got?
Yeah, Steve, it's really going to be tough to find any kind of value out of this game with Pittsburgh. So really it would probably be a pass from me, but something that I am looking at, like I said, you're really not going to find much that you're going to like, with Pittsburgh, because they should win this game pretty, easily. So, Steve, I think what I would do is I would take kind of a different angle here, and I would take the Montreal team total goals at over 2.5 for plus 130, and I think I would just give that a shot. Just kind of see if, Montreal can score a few. They're probably going to lose, but, hey, if the, final was 6-3, that gets you home on the Montreal team totals. So, Steve, I think that's what I would do here. I would go against the grain and over 2.5 for the Canadians and just kind of give it a shot and get the plus money out of it and see what happens.
Okay. Pittsburgh also, they had a great weekend, like I said yesterday. Winners of 2 in a row over the weekend, 7-2-1 in their last 10. So Penguins playing better for sure. And they did flip-flop spots with the Islanders in that spot. Okay. In the 2 wild card spots. All right, next game on the list.
But worth noting also, Steve, they have a pretty easy schedule the rest of the way. So kind of, I really wouldn't count on Pittsburgh falling too much. They've got kind of a cupcake road to the finish there.
Okay, good to pay attention to. So that would put them in the opposite of the penalty box. They'll become a play-on team. Okay, Detroit, your Red Wings are at Nashville. Interesting game here. Nashville is the favorite, -150. Red Wings +125. Over under is 5.5. The face-off for this game is at 8:05. You go ahead and start, Dave.
Yeah, Steve. So I like Nashville on the 60-minute line at -105. I think they're playing a little bit better right now. I'm seeing about 55% of bets being placed are with Nashville. So I think I would kind of trend that way too. Like I said, the 60-minute line is -105. Nashville is at home. That can be a tough place to play. And, they really want to keep, pushing towards the playoffs. So we never know what we're going to get out of Detroit. 1 minute they're really helping us out, getting some values, and the next minute they're terrible. So tough to really trust anything there with Detroit. Steve, I think this is going to be a Nashville play for me. Let's see what the team total is. Just exited out of that menu. I don't know why it does that. Let's see, team totals here. I probably wouldn't play any of that. I don't see, Nashville, while they don't give up many, they often don't score that many either, and you'd have to go all the way to 3.5 to get some plus money out of it. Your 2.5 is -230. So I think you keep it simple here. No overtime, Preds in regulation at home at the -105 price.
All right. Yeah, this is a tough game, to be honest. If we look at the standings here, Detroit still has minor hopes of the playoffs, 69 points. So they're 7 points out of the wild card. Nashville, same. I mean, they're 6 points out, but they're trying to charge hard. But Detroit hasn't done themselves any favor, 3-6-1 here in their last 10. Nashville has fared a little bit better, 7-2-1, winners of 2 in a row now, and 16-11-3 at home. I guess Nashville's a decent play. They just don't score a lot of goals for my liking, and Detroit can beat you. I mean, they beat the Bruins the other day too, if you remember that over the weekend on Sunday. 60-minute line, Detroit +185, Predators even money +100. So this will be a pass for me at the end of the day. Saros is the only goalie listed in this game. All right, next on the list are the Bruins. They are in Chicago, and they are laying nearly $5, -490, comeback +365. Over under is 5.5.
I'll tell you what, Steve. I think this would be a pass for me. This is along the lines of that Pittsburgh game, but much worse. I don't really know what we could do here. We could look at a team total. I don't know. Boston could probably score 5 against the Blackhawks, and that's at +125. So really not even a great price on that. Like I said, Steve, this is going to be very much the same Pittsburgh versus the Canadiens, but worse. So really tough to find something here, Steve. I think you really just if you really wanted to do something for me, I think it could be a game parlay with the Bruins, and the over 5.5 at -105 might be the only thing value-wise that would make any kind of sense to me, Steve. So maybe you have something, but this is, again, another tough one for, really any good value.
Brandon Carlo on the injury list now for the Bruins, but he'll be back soon, just a couple of days. Matt Felipe, hopefully back by the end of the month. Taylor Hall back sooner than later. And for Chicago, they have a ton of injuries. Anders Bjork, Colin Blackwell, Reese Johnson, Austin Wagner, Cole Gutman, Jonathan Tays, Andres England. So the Blackhawks are definitely more banged up. As far as recent form goes, excuse me. The Bruins, they're having it tough lately. They lost 1 in a row and just 8-2 in their last 10. So really not sputtering at all are the Bruins. Chicago,
No.
on the other hand, they are tied now for the worst team in the league with San Jose, 3-6-1 in their last 10. The Bruins should romp. I mean, you're going to have to pay a heavy number for Boston goals as well. I'm going to predict it's going to be 4.5, right? Yep, over 4.5. It's plus 138 though. But I feel like the Bruins win a lot of their games with 4 goals or 3 goals or whatever. Just really strong on defense. Yeah, a pass for me too, Dave.
Yeah, it's too hard to find anything really worth playing there, I think.
This next game at 9:05, I was going to take a shot at the over, but maybe not. The over-under is 7.5. We haven't seen a 7.5, I don't think, on the show all year. But here it is with the Senators and the Oilers. The Oilers minus 220. Come back on the Sens is plus 180. Now, the Sens were a little bit of a darling for me, but they've now lost 2 in a row. So it's hard to stay on top of them in that regard. They, like the Red Wings, still have slight aspirations for the playoffs. Ottawa with 70 points. But like I said, they did lose 2 in a row while they were surging up the standings. Edmonton, on the other hand, again, they got bounced back into the wild card spot. If they go on a tear, they could win that division, but they are still 8 points back of Vegas. This should be a high-scoring affair, but 7.5 is a lot of goals here. I think I would just trust Edmonton in this scenario, but you still got to pay a nice price of minus 220. Team goals, I don't think I'm going to be interested in either. This could be a weird night for outcomes, Dave. Over 2.5 goals for the Senators is minus 156. I think you could look at that number, to be honest. I'd rather take that.
That's what I was going to say.
I would rather do that than take over 4.5 with the Oilers at plus 122. But yeah, follow up, Dave. What do you got?
Yeah, Steve. So I'm going to agree with you there. I was looking at that Senators team total. I think they could definitely get to 3. I have it at basically the same thing, minus 150. So I think that's definitely worth some consideration. But Steve, you could move it. I have the over 7.5 of this game at plus 140. That is a lot of goals, but we've seen it this year. It has happened, and more than that, numerous times. So I think if you want to play that total and get a plus 140 price out of it over here, I think I would give it a shot anyway. I think these two teams could, combine for that many definitely, but I think the most sensible play would be that Senators team total, Steve.
Yeah, and the 60-minute line, if you want Edmonton, not too bad at minus 155 if you want to go that route. Come back for the Senators is plus 250 on the 60-minute line. And the goalies props here have Skinner as the only goalie listed. Okay, Flames and Coyotes, 10:05 Eastern Standard Time. Part of a 4-pack of games starting late on the West Coast. So the Flames laying 255 plus 205 on Arizona, who hasn't been the worst lately. Over under in this game is 6.5. And the Flames, like we said, they're trying to chase down the wild card, but 4-4-2 in their last 10 won't get the job done in that regard. 4-4-2 for Arizona, which I would consider good for them, to be honest. And they are 17-11-3 at home. How about that? So they have a really good home record. Arizona 7-21-8 on the road. So a good home record for Arizona. I have a feeling you're going to like the Arizona team goals here, Dave. I could be wrong, but let's go with let's see what we got for those. The team goals. for Arizona, over 2.5 is flat at plus 100. I think that's a nice play. Over 3.5 is minus 140 for Calgary. Go ahead, Dave. What do you like?
Yeah, Steve, you nailed it. Arizona team totals, you have it a little bit better. I have it minus 105 for 2.5. But I have played this, I don't know, 3-4 times this year, I think, and I think it has hit every time. So why stop now? I'm going to go Coyotes team total in this one. That's the best play. It's been working, so I'm going to go right back to it, take that value, and I think that's the pick for this game.
Calgary, just a couple of players on the injured list. Oliver Killington and Michael Stone, both out. And as far as Arizona goes, Nick Schmaltz, Patrick Nemeth, Jakub Voracek, Andrew Ladd, and Shea Weber are the injuries there. Weber, long-term, don't expect him back anytime soon. Voracek, too. He's going to be gone long-term. Other players back, hopefully sooner than later. But, yeah, I think that's a nice play. I think that's one I would lock in there as Arizona over 2.5 myself. Okay. So, goalies for this game listed. Connor Ingram for Arizona, and Jacob Markstrom will be the goalie for Calgary. All right, Dallas is coming off a back-to-back. They now go to Vancouver, 10:05 Eastern Standard Time. Short number for the Stars on the most part, minus 150. They're going to take into account the back-to-back on this one, over under 6.5. I feel like they're giving Vancouver a little too much credit at home at plus 125. I would trust the Stars on the back-to-back over Vancouver. But Vancouver, how about this? Hottest team in the league, maybe winners of 4 in a row, 7-2-1 in their last 10. That's going to be too little too late for the Canucks to catch up to the playoffs. But we said, like I said, Dallas is a beast, 234 goals scored, 37, 17, and 13 on the year. Away from home, they are 28-5 overall, and 3 wins in a row too. So as hot as Vancouver has been, Dallas is too. Only main issue there is just the back-to-back for Dallas after they won in Seattle last night. And Dallas comes in with, that's right, just a handful of injuries. Scott Wedgwood, Tyler Seguin, Luke Glendening. All those players should be back sooner than later. Vancouver, on the other hand, has a ton of injuries. So I won't go down a list of that long list for Vancouver. Go ahead and give me Dallas in the spot as well, and I'll take them on a 60-minute line. They're not going to want to go to overtime tonight. They're going to want to get the job done early. The 60-minute line for Dallas to win is an even flat plus 100. So I like that. Also, maybe a lower scoring game here. Maybe they shut down the Canucks as well on the road. Canucks total goals is over 2.5 is minus 144. That I would not take. Dallas over 3.5 plus 104. You could probably talk me into that too, but I think Dallas over 3.5 or the 60-minute line for Dallas is fair game. What do you got, Dave?
Yeah, Steve. So I like the 60-minute line play as well. I have it at plus 105 for the Stars. But the thing I would think I would play the most here is with Dallas coming off the back-to-back, and they are the better team, I think you take a shot at the under here. With them playing last night, legs might be a little tired, but just that, they are the stronger team. Maybe they're still able to get the job done in a 3-2 type of scenario. So I think I would try an under 6.5 play here at minus 110. I think is something under consideration. And, yeah, Steve, the 60-minute line for the Stars. So I think those are probably two pretty good takeaways from this one here.
Okay, and two more games left, and we have face-off coming up here shortly. So we'll go through them and take a quick look at the playoff odds. The Islanders are at the Kings. Interesting matchup here. Kings minus 135. Comeback for the Isles is plus 115. Over under is 5.5. I'll go to the injuries first. Let's see. The Islanders getting healthier now. Clutterbuck is off the injured list. Wallstrom and Barzell still stay on there. Let's see. What do we have for the Kings? Here, that's another favorite team of the show here. Kings are relatively healthy. So nothing major with them. Let's see. Listed goalies in this game. Sorokin will be the goalie for the Isles, and Korpisalo will be the goalie for the Kings. Interesting matchup, contrast of styles as well. More of a wide open team for the Kings, more of a physical team in the Islanders. What do you got, Dave?
Yeah, Steve, this should be a good one if you're, looking for a little late night entertainment. I think I would definitely, I don't know, maybe watch the first period at least. Right. But I like the Kings on the 60-minute line at plus 120. They're trying to catch Vegas. Islanders, I believe, are sputtering just a little bit. So I don't know, Steve. LA has really proven that they can get the job done and that they are a playoff caliber team. So I like them there on the plus money 60-minute line. And we could even maybe look at, they've got Korpisalo in net tonight. I think you could see maybe even a saves over under play here. We haven't talked about any goalie props this evening, but I think you could probably play it here. Even Sorokin at over 28.5 is at minus 125. So I think some goalie props might be in play for this one as well, Steve. So a little bit of a different angle there.
The Islanders did lose their last time out, but they are 6-3-1 in their last 10. That means they're 6-4, really, if you count the overtime loss. The Kings 6-2-2 in their last 10, which means 6-4 if you count the two overtime losses. But yeah, this should be an entertaining game, and I think a pass for me at the end of the day. These teams just don't see each other that much. The New York to LA connection here. So a pass for me, but yes, entertaining game. I agree with you with that in that regard, Dave, for sure. Let's see here. Next game on the list, which will be our last game. Columbus and San Jose. San Jose is minus 145. Talked about them being tied for the worst team in the league with Chicago. They play Columbus, who is plus 120, who is only better than the Sharks by 1 point overall as far as points go for the season. So they're basically two of the top worst teams in the league. Two of the bottom three. How am I supposed to say that? Two of the bottom three teams in the league, I guess would be the better way to say it. Under 6.5 is plus 112. Maybe that's the angle there. Goalies listed are Capo Kakkonen for the Sharks and Daniil Tarasov for the Blue Jackets. Again, I don't know, Dave. Pass for me. What do you got?
Yeah, this is an absolute pass, Steve. This is a clunker of a game. This is this could not be more of a who gives a shit game here. Excuse my language, but man, you gonna watch Columbus play the Sharks late night? I don't think so. I want nothing to do with it, Steve. This is a pass.
All right. And the Devils now plus 115 just to win the Metro. How about that? I grabbed them at 3-1 here about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I guess, in a little round robin with some other plays. Unfortunately, I got the Jets in there too. The Jets are up to 45-1 odds to win the Central, so they're fading in that regard. Minnesota, 6-1 odds is a nice price still to win the Central for them, being just 3 points back. Your Kings are plus 290 behind the leaders. Vegas, there. Edmonton plus 750. Kraken plus 1,100. Good numbers there. If you think the Golden Knights will ever go into the tank, I thought they were going into the tank a month or two ago, but they have not done that. The Bruins continue to be your Eastern Conference favorite, plus 210. Come playoff time, I don't know. That's just too low. Anything's going to happen in the playoffs. There's going to be a lot of pressure for the Bruins finishing as good as they have in the regular season and then trying to duplicate the regular season effort in the playoffs as well. That's going to be a tall task for them to handle. We'll see if they're up to it. Should be interesting for sure. Are you looking at anything crazy in the futures market, Dave?
No, Steve, not really. I've got my Minnesota Wild and Kings ticket going. So probably just going to stay true to that. Minnesota Wild I'm seeing at plus 600 still. And the Kings at plus 300. So if you like that, I mean, hey, it's not impossible for those two teams. So you could try something with those two and maybe some other kind of dancing partner, but really kind of all the same here of what we've been seeing. I see the Knights at minus 165 to win that division. I couldn't imagine why that is. I think the Kings are a worthy opponent. And they're, I don't think they're getting the recognition that, they could definitely steal that spot away from them. So Vegas not getting a very good number for me. But kind of more the same, Steve. I think we're just going to stay true to the Kings and the Wild while we have those numbers still.
And if you do that parlay with the Wild and the Kings to win their divisions, then it's going to pay 26-1 odds. So that's not too bad if you want to try to stab them both
not at all
at one time. Okay, Dave, go ahead and give me your picks. I'll give you mine. We'll go ahead and get out of here.
All righty. So, Steve, I got just 3 picks that I like tonight. New Jersey, 60-minute line. I am going to take a shot here at this crazy over total of 7.5 between the Senators and the Oilers. And then we're going to round it off with the LA Kings on the 60-minute line as well.
All right. And I'll go ahead and take the Arizona team total goals over 2.5.
Oh, and that one, Steve. Yeah, I forgot to add that in there.
Yep. We'll add that for you too, Dave. I'll take the Ottawa Senators at over 2.5 goals as well. And I'll take the Dallas Stars at a flat, even rate to win in regulation against the Canucks. All right, Dave, what's going on in Florida? Everything good down there?
Yeah, all's good. We're here in St. Petersburg chilling now. We were in Dunedin, Florida, which is the home of the Blue Jays for spring training. So Blue Jays fans everywhere in that part of Florida. So that was fun. They've got a really nice ballpark for spring training. A couple miles away, the Phillies were in action. So, yeah, a lot of spring training stuff going on. Weather's beautiful. And we're just kicking it full side. We're letting the red stripes flow. And probably going to turn the Caps game on and get ready for tomorrow.
Man, I'm definitely missing Florida. My boy Blades is down there, sent me pictures from Port St. Lucie today, and we had aspirations to go down there as well, but we have too many family issues going on back here on the home front, so we're going to have to grin and bear it out here in the cold, unfortunately. All right, Dave, good luck on your picks tonight. Everyone out there, good luck on your tickets. We will check back tomorrow. I'm not sure what kind of slate we got. Let's take a quick look at the games for tomorrow. On Wednesday,
You knew one is a shorter one as well.
yeah, short slate tomorrow. Avalanche are at the Maple Leafs. Good game. Sabres at the Capitals. Good game. Oh, your Capitals are paying 110 to 1 to win the East, by the way. Wild and Blues, not so much of a good game. Islanders and Ducks, not so much of a good game. And then we'll be back with you on Thursday as well. And on Thursday, we have another big card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games. Highlighted in those matchups will be Penguins versus the Rangers. Lightning against the Devils, take 2 will be in there. Bruins will be at the Jets. Stars and the Oilers will be a good game. Flames and Golden Knights should be a decent game. And we have some bottom feeders against some other potentials as well. All right, everyone, have a good night. Good luck on your tickets. And we will see you tomorrow night on What the Puck is Going On. Oh, yeah, Inquisition Unknown is a every other Tuesday show. So no Inquisition Unknown tonight. We'll bring that back next Tuesday. And the rugby show back on tomorrow night as well. Initiate the contact at 7:30 with me and the coach, Dale Runner. All right, everyone, good luck tonight.